big breaking news that we are covering is out of Iran, and they've said, this is, I'll read it for you directly. This is the advisor said they're capable of building a nuclear bomb. They haven't necessarily decided whether or not they're going to, but they have the ability to. And Jordan, this is a big news for obviously a host of reasons, specifically coming out of just right now, the Middle East trip that President Biden just made. This is deeply concerning.
This is why he was meeting with our second part of the reason why he's meeting with our allies in the Gulf, not just to beg for more oil for the United States, but also to hopefully continue to build the alliance of countries against Iran and to build that alliance. But what we know now is that Iran is at a point which we were all feared was coming very soon, where they've got all the capabilities they need. What they are doing is trying to extort something out from the world. Likely that's cash and sanctions relief.
This is one of the advisors who said, in a few days, we were able to enrich uranium up to 60%, and we can easily produce 90% enriched uranium. Iran has the technical means to produce a nuclear bomb, but there's been no decision by Iran to build one.
You don't always have to believe the Iranians or believe these dictatorial regimes, but we know that they have been on a path towards getting the materials necessary to put together a nuclear weapon. And they are now saying that they have that right after the president of the United States leaves the region, meeting with one of their top enemies, the Saudis, and, of course, the Israelis. I want to play this sound, too, Logan. I think this is important. Between Israel's interim prime minister, Yair Lapid, and President Biden, because there was a direct disagreement on how to deal with Iran, and this was before that news.
I continue to believe that diplomacy is the best way to achieve this outcome.
Words will not stop them, Mr. President. Diplomacy will not stop them. The only thing that will stop Iran is knowing that if they continue to develop their nuclear program, the free world will use force.
President Biden in Israel said that they had actually delivered their final offer to the Iranian government, that it essentially was on their desk, and that if they signed it, they would go forward with the agreement. And yet in that agreement, it allows Iran to have access again to billions and billions of dollars with no restraints on their ballistic missile system. This is bad diplomacy. It's bad for the world. It's bad for the United States of America. And yet he is insisting on going forward with this. The only thing that's holding us back right now is Iran has not signed it.
The U.S. right now may not be posed to strike, but there are other countries, not just Israel, who are going to be very uncomfortable after this statement is out now by a top advisor to the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, who put his name out. This isn't an unnamed person. So put his name out with it, and who are not going to be so patient with Iran. And I think, unfortunately, we could be on the cusp of another conflict, and a major conflict.